Hazardous Tales.
Hey everybody, Nathan Hale here with a story for you about the trial of Old Drum. There's Old Drum right there. If you think this is going to be a story about like an actual drum, you are wrong. It's a story about a dog named Old Drum. There he is, a dog. This is a true story, and it takes place in 1869, Johnson County, Missouri. I was lucky enough to do some school visits in Missouri last spring, and that is where I learned this story. So, in 1869, you had these two farmers that lived next to each other. One of them was named Charles Burden. There's Charles Burden. We'll give him a beard. Charles Burden lived next door to his brother-in-law, Leonidas Hornsby. Here's Leonidas Hornsby. Big. We'll give him a little mouth here like this. So, they were brothers-in-law. He's got a hat too. Give him hats. Both a couple of farmers. Leonidas Hornsby was a sheep farmer, and he had sheep all over his property. Look at all these little sheep going around everywhere. You got all these sheep. Charles Burden had a lot of dogs, all of these dogs all over his property, and he'd kind of let them run wild sometimes. And Leonidas Hornsby was getting madder and madder and madder because he was sick and tired of Charles Burden's stupid dogs. They were always barking, they were always causing trouble, but worse than anything, they were killing his sheep. In fact, he claimed that over the years, those dogs had killed 100 of his sheep. So he was just getting madder and madder and madder. Charles Burden, he was like, I'm sorry, I try to keep him under control. Anyway, one day, Leonidas Hornsby made a vow. He said, I will kill any dog that comes on my property. It's my property. I have a right to protect it. I will kill any dog that comes on my property. So Charles Burden tried to take better care of his dogs and not letting them go over. So one night, Hornsby and his nephew was just a kid named Samuel Ferguson. Here's Samuel Ferguson. Just a young guy. They were out there surveying the property. The sun was going down. It was a little dusky. And Leonidas Hornsby looked out and he was like, what is that? And he pointed off in the distance on his property, and there was a dog. And Samuel Ferguson was like, I think it's a dog, Uncle Hornsby. And he said, I think it is too. Let's shoot that dog. Now, Hornsby did say that he loaded the gun with, I believe, corn. The shotgun was loaded with corn or salt corn or something like that. He just wanted to scare the dog, even though he had made this vow to kill a dog. So Samuel Ferguson went out with this gun and blammo! He shot the dog, and then the dog disappeared off into the night. They didn't think they killed it. In any case, the next morning, our farmer here, Charles Burden, came out to see a dead dog. And not just any dead dog, but his favorite dog, Old Drum. And he was super, super upset. This was his number one foxhound. He loved this dog more than all of the rest of his dogs, and here it was dead. He thought the only person who could have done such a horrible thing is my brother-in-law, Leonidas Hornsby. So what did he do? He took him to court. Now this is the Johnson County Courthouse. I got to go tour this building. It was a lot of fun to go check out this very old building and look at everything inside there. The price that he set for the lawsuit was the maximum penalty, $50 for killing Old Drum. And they went to court, and this legal battle got ugly. So he brought in his lawyer, a guy named George Graham Vest. Check it out. This is what the inside of this courthouse looks like. They still have like all of the authentic stuff that was there back in 1869, all the different the types of writing implements, the hammer that you hit, what's the thing? The gavel. They had the gavel. Anyway, the whole town gathered around to watch these two guys fight it out and see what their lawyers had to say. George Graham Vest stood up. After many different go-arounds, he gave his closing statement. Now, everybody was kind of surprised because when he went to his closing statement, he did not talk about the witness testimony or any of this stuff. He just went off in a speech about dogs. And this speech is why this whole story is remembered, because it was the most amazing speech ever given about dogs in American history, I guess. This speech can be found in legal textbooks, in great speech textbooks. It's where the phrase, man's best friend, oh boy, I'm going to be in trouble here if I spell friend wrong. It's where this phrase comes from, man's best friend. So, hold on to your hats. I'm going to read you this speech. It's pretty quick. Get your Kleenex ready, dog lovers, because this is intense stuff. And while I do this speech, I'm going to do some video trickery here so that it's not too boring, and I'll I'll set up a speed drawing of a picture of a foxhound, Old Drum, that you can watch while I do the speech. A Tribute to the Dog by George Graham Vest. Gentlemen of the jury, the best friend a man has in this world may turn against him and become his enemy. His son or daughter that he has reared with loving care may prove ungrateful. Those who are nearest and dearest to us, those whom we trust with our happiness and good name, may become traitors in their faith. The money that a man has, he may lose. It flies away from him, perhaps when he needs it most. A man's reputation may be sacrificed in a moment of ill-considered action. The people who are prone to fall on their knees to do us honor when success is with us may be the first to throw the stone of malice when failure settles its cloud upon our heads. The one absolutely unselfish friend that a man can have in this selfish world, the one that never proves ungrateful or treacherous, is his dog. Gentlemen of the jury, a man's dog stands by him in prosperity and poverty, in health and sickness. He will sleep on the cold ground where the wintry winds blow and the snow drives fiercely, if only he can be near his master's side. He will kiss the hand that has no food to offer. He will lick the wounds and sores that come from encounter with the roughness of the world. He guards the sleep of his pauper master as if he were a prince. When all other friends desert, he remains. When riches take wings and reputation falls to pieces, he is as constant in his love as the sun in its journey through the heavens. If fortune drives the master forth, an outcast in the world, friendless and homeless, the faithful dog asks no higher privilege than that of accompanying him to guard against danger, to fight against his enemies. And when the last scene of all comes, and death takes the master in its embrace, and his body is laid away in the cold ground, no matter if all other friends pursue their way, there by his graveside will the noble dog be found, his head between his paws, his eyes sad, but open in alert watchfulness, faithful and true even to death. What a speech, right? So, the people in the jury listened to this speech, and you're not going to be surprised, but this speech won the lawsuit. And Old Drum became a famous dog. All over Johnson County, you can see statues of Old Drum, like this one right here. Pretty intense story to come from somebody shooting his brother-in-law's dog, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked it, leave a comment. I think these videos are going to come out on Wednesdays. That's what I'm going to try and do. Thanks for watching. Check out the Hazardous Tales books if you haven't. Leave a comment if you'd like, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.